I told you they did.
Alley's pretty nice.
That's good. I like the concrete balconies that were about to fall off.
Hey, the signs? Oh no, not that sign.
No astronaut called That's my hotels.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan's friend is very cool.
No, this is 2 up here. There we go. Oh, cool. Hi, and welcome to my channel. So, I am in Seattle, Washington, and I am at the Hotel Seattle, which is at, I don't know, the address is like 322 Seneca Street, or something like that. So, I'm here for a trip. I booked this hotel, knowing that it's nothing special of a hotel, because it was basically free for me on Hotels.com. I'm going to give you a little bit of a hotel tour. And this isn't as bad as like a Dan Bell dirty room hotel, but it's not great. Okay, first thing I'll tell you right now, I'm in the room. It is midnight. As you can tell, it is very loud outside. The reason it is loud is because I have the windows open. There are no screens in the window. You could just jump out the window if you want and kill yourself. Bugs are coming in, things like that. The reason the windows are open, there's no AC in here. It is probably 75 degrees outside. It is 85 degrees in this room. I mean, I'm sweating my butt off. But here, let me read you some of the reviews. So let's hear Joy Bridges. This is all on Google. So we'll go on Google here. We're going to type in the hotel and then we'll do something. Manuel Gilbert a week ago. If anybody is trying to find good deals for hotels, visit hotelbully.com, blah, blah, blah. I loved it. Perfect location. Make sure you leave your keys at the desk if you go clubbing so you don't lose them and have to buy a new set. Now, they did tell me that at the counter when I checked in. The guy was very friendly at the counter. He's a super nice guy. $25 is what they're going to charge you if you lose your key, but you can just leave your key with them. All right, so Carl King, a month ago. Old school hotel, great staff, would stay here myself on business, but it's certainly not your 4-star hotel. So if your wife likes the finer things in life, go elsewhere. The tankless toilet and cast iron tub are certainly rare in hotels. Otherwise, was perfect for being around the corner from where I was working. Restaurant downstairs has a grumpy old thing working there. Enter with caution. James Richardson, 3 weeks ago. I stayed here during the snowstorm since it, this is funny, 3 weeks ago. It's August. It's the beginning of August. I don't know if there was a snowstorm, so who knows how old this is. I stayed here during the snowstorm since it was close to where I work, conveniently located near Pacific Place. So these are like, you know, it sounds fine. So that's what I had done. But let's find some of these ones that are a little more. All right, here, Joy Bridges 2 months ago. The worst experience I have ever encountered in my life. He looked at me like he hated my soul. He was completely disrespectful to my boyfriend and not willing to compensate us for the amenities that were listed online but not in the hotel, or he mocked me when I asked for clarification and would not give me any information on when the manager would be in or how to contact him. I will never go here or recommend in my life. If I could, I would give them -5 stars. But, you know, okay, that nothing really bad about the hotel yet. So these are like some of the things. Let's find some of the other ones here. Well, okay, so what I'm getting at is there's no need to even look. I'll give you a hotel room tour here of what we got going on. So some of the negative ones that I found were people complaining about the elevator, which when I did check in, it was on the 2nd floor. I am on the 3rd floor, so I just walked up the stairs, no big deal. The staircase is kind of sketchy and weird. But I just came up to the 3rd floor and walked in. My room is literally right across from the stairwell, no big deal. The elevator was on floor 2, so we went down to floor 2, got in the elevator, pushed the buttons. It wasn't anything, it was stuck. So apparently that happens kind of often, that the elevator doesn't work, which could suck if you had big luggage and everything and you were on like the 8th floor. The other thing that I never noticed that people complained about was either heat, it was too cold in the place, which there is a radiator in here, so, you know, gosh knows how it is when it's cold outside, or that it was hot, which there is no AC in here, which seems kind of common here in Seattle anyways. So that was the other thing. Some of the other ones were, you know, but there was nothing bed bugs, there was nothing like bad like that, there was nothing gross or anything bad. Place is dated. There is free Wi-Fi, but it's only down in the lobby. The lobby's not super inviting by any means. It's just like a chair and a couch and stuff. It is very centrally located. You're like 4 blocks from the market and everything like that. So it's really close. Or I mean, actually, you're probably 10 blocks or 8 blocks from the market, but you're 4 blocks from the water, which is like Pier 55. So anyways, let me give you a room tour. Let me say this right now. When I walked in and I walked into the room, I was expecting, oh, this is going to be horrible. I'm definitely not staying the night here, or anything like that. And walked in and was like, oh, wow, this isn't that bad. So I'll tell you that right now. Bathroom's a whole different thing. Definitely not going to be using the shower by any means or anything like that. When I go back to my brother's house, I'll just use the shower there. So let me give you a room tour and stick around. All right, here we are. Here's the front door, the door to the hotel room. As you see, there's no chain or anything, but there is a deadbolt. And the key, this still uses keys. So that does work. All right, here's the bathroom. So as you can see, mirror. We have a little bit of an issue here with this. Okay, and then we got that going on the ceiling. This plastic Formica thing, as you can see, is kind of falling apart. But that's not the bad thing. That's the tub. And it looks like the tub or something backed up. And I do not know what that grossness is that's in there by any means. As you can see too, it's just dripping water. We haven't touched this. This is the way it was walking in. And as you see how warped that plastic is, you can tell right there they've just put a bunch of caulking on it and stuff like that. So that's just dripping. I did wash my hands after using the bathroom. So here's your toilet. It's tankless. The ceiling, nothing fancy with the lighting by any means. Some old Trek lighting. But here's something that my brother pointed out. So here's the pipe. This is one thing that people mentioned. They said, oh, there's this old gross rusty pipe in the corner. So it's somebody's painted it. It does, however, go all the way up. They didn't really seal it or anything like that. And as you can see, the floor, I mean, it's nothing bad, but I mean, this place isn't fancy by any means. Here is your closet. And as you can see, it's a big closet. When you can get all the way in here, it's a big closet. So the room, here's the room. Tissue paper. We give you this nice little desk. The desk actually, has a glass top. It's not bad. I don't really get why they give you a tea kettle, because they don't give you anything else for it. But you have a hot pot. Flat screen. You do have a flat screen. This little number right here, nothing's bad. Here's your windows though. Like I said, no screens, no AC. Got to have this open. And it's not a quiet street by any means. But somebody's put out some nice curtains. Here's the radiator I talked about. And then your bed. And I moved that pillow and stuff. I mean, it was, but as you can see, decent bedspread, decent room. Nothing really too bad. The light, it's nice. The ceiling's not gross. So, there you go. I mean, that's my, this is the Hotel Seattle right here, or the Seattle Hotel. Hotel Seattle. I think that's the name of it. Anyways, as you can tell, it's nothing fancy. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but the lack of air conditioning is driving me crazy. It's so hot in here. It's, like I said, 85 degrees in here. And that shower being kind of gross. Not going to use that shower, but I have no problem, pooping in the toilet. So anyways, this is the hotel, and I hope you like this video. And if anything else crazy happens or something this evening, I'll shoot video of it or tell you about it. Thanks. All right. B does not go anywhere. You push B, the door opens back up. Restaurant ain't open, I guess. So, as you can tell, your options are close the windows and sweat all night long, or leave them open and be nice and cool, but also you need earplugs because it's super loud. So, there you go. Alrighty, so I have now stayed the night. I mean, kind of. in the Seattle Hotel Seattle. I'm still not even sure what the actual name is. I think it's the Hotel Seattle. Um, Fuck this place, man. That is my assessment of staying the night here. So, the complete lack of air conditioning means that you have to sleep with these windows wide open. That street out there is busy as shit. Um, I fell asleep a little after 2 a.m. It is currently right now 6 a.m. I woke up half an hour ago, and this room is back to getting a little warm, it seems like. Um, I even came and like checked the radiator. It was like, is it just me or is the room getting warm again? It was super comfortable at 2 o'clock in the morning when I had opened these all the way up. Um, as you can tell, I'm shooting this in front of the windows just so you can kind of get some of the noise. Um, I don't know what was going on, but there was fire trucks and ambulances, and I caught a little bit of a clip of one at like 3 a.m. that had woken me up or something, but 5 o'clock this morning or something must have happened because it sounded like there was 5 fire trucks sitting on that street right there. Now they could have been a couple blocks over or something like that. Once that sun started cracking, the seagulls started just making all that noise. And then there was just a minute ago people out there yelling on the street, and yeah, you're not gonna be able to sleep here unless you are one of those people that could sleep through like a hurricane. I sleep with the TV on, um, volume usually on late at night and stuff, so I can sleep in a loud room. If you're somebody that can't, you need it like pitch black and quiet, you will never fall asleep in this room. Um, I mean, damn calls. If if you booked this place because you needed a place to crash after partying all night or something like that, then this place would be maybe acceptable, maybe. And the reason I would even say it's not is because of the price point. I think I even had mentioned in one of the little clips I had done earlier that I basically got this room for free. I booked this off of hotels.com. This hotel runs at like $88 a night for a Saturday night. It is seafare. Um, and with tax and everything, I think it came to $150. Now, the reason I said it is basically free is because it was hotels.com, so I got a free room on hotels.com, which pays for a room that's like $140, so, or $150 or something. So I had to pay the tax or something like that. So it was $3 or something, $15 that I had to pay. That was over the 150. So that's the only reason I even booked this room, was because it was the only one like downtown that was in my area that was like, okay, fine, the ratings aren't good. It's 3 stars. It's 2.7 stars out of 5. You know, the W is across the street and it's like, 4.5 stars, but that was $430 or something. So, my thinking was that there is no way I would want to stay here if I was like a woman, because that bathroom is gross. I mean, my hair looks okay. Luckily, it took me a little sink rinse. Luckily, I have a house to go back to and shower or something. I couldn't picture if I needed to go to the airport and I was flying home or something, had a meeting or something like that. I mean, that shower was gross. I don't know, maybe if you ran the shower for a while, it washes that junk out or something like that. Um, yeah, I mean, if you were a family, if you had kids, I mean, if you have kids, again, dead. So, that wouldn't be good. I mean, I guess there's a plus that there's not a fire escape out there, so that at least there's not like a crackhead crawling into the window. Uh, but I mean, if you had if you're here with your wife or something, there's no. I mean, I don't know what you're used to. I have stayed in bad hotels. I have stayed in a place that was in Drumheller, Canada, that was called the Artesian or something. It had a very fancy name, like one of those. I think it was the Astor Hotel or something. It was like ooh fancy, and you had to get your key from the bartender downstairs in a very bad looking bar, and then when you walked in the hallway, it was very obviously people had lived there because there was like you know a lazy boy recliner and plants and newspapers and stuff stacked up in the hallways. Walked into the room and it was the 100% bare essential. It was like a sheet on two very crappy beds that were like just sitting there. There's no AC, there was no screens or something. There was like trash out the window. There was one like ratty towel. I mean, it was bad. Like I don't even think it had a TV. It was so bad. Okay, that was probably the worst hotel. Easily the worst hotel I've ever stayed in. I stayed in one in Hot Springs, Arkansas, that had bed bugs. Um, but the other room when they switched us was actually nice and stuff, so that was fine. Or I mean, when they switched my brother, my room never had bed bugs. Their bedroom had bed bugs. Um, that was the Happy Hollow. That was okay. Um, there was one there. It's the something spa or something. It's on the big main strip. Me and a friend stayed there, and there was again no AC. In Arkansas, it gets pretty hot. And just like this room, there's no airflow. Honestly, if you're gonna have a room like this and you have to open the window for airflow, give me a box fan. Give me one of those $10 cheap box fans. At least I could have sat it like right here. It could blow air and could keep it cool, and I could shut a window, or something like that, or even just somewhere in here. Give me a pedestal fan or something. Something for airflow. There's no airflow in this room. Um, that crappy one though, that hotel in Arkansas, I remember we took the mountainside view, which they blast the whole side of the mountain and then concrete it, so you were essentially just staring at a concrete wall, which actually bounced all the sound off. And there wasn't even a window in that room that would open. There was a balcony door that you could open and just let all the bugs in, and there was like a little tiny crank like window thing at the top, and you could kind of lower it. The place did have air conditioning, and you could kind of feel some air coming through the vents, but it was more swamp cooler that wasn't working properly. Air conditioning. That place was bad. It just like here, it didn't have cable even or anything like that. It just had antenna, and you got like three channels. Two of them were religious, and one was like an oldies channel. So we ended up just watching like Gunsmoke and Batman all night, and I remember the tub was bad there too. Like it filled up with water, and there was like hair and stuff floating in it when you took your shower, and that whole place was gross. That was a bad hotel that I stayed in. We stayed at the Free Breakfast Inn in Kansas. I mean, you could figure out the name. You did get free breakfast though. I'll give them that, and the breakfast was good. And the room was weird. It came with stuffed animals, and like the bed was kind of janky, and it was like a cinder block room. And I'd like to say the soap was from the Showboat Casino, which hasn't been open for very many years. So who knows how old that soap was. But that place, see, unlike this, where this is $150, that crap hole Free Breakfast Inn, that was like $50 for two people, and it had two beds, and it actually had like cable and a big flat screen and air conditioning. So, Free Breakfast Inn beats this place. I mean, I stayed at a place in Medicine Hat, Alberta, uh, where I'm originally from, and it is the Medicine Hat Lodge, and that was probably definitely one of the more worst ones. It literally has a strip club attached. The strip club's name was Cheetahs, and then they changed it to a sports bar, so they took the H and just made the H into an R, so it was Cheetahs, and that was the bar attached, which is kind of a plus that you could walk downstairs and go to a bar. I mean, I guess it was
but it definitely was a hotel attached to a strip club. I remember my room had a hole in the door that had been like paper mache, and the paper mache and the door didn't have a deadbolt or anything. At least this place has a deadbolt. Um, and the floor was like a green carpet that was kind of sticky. Here, the carpet, I'll give them credit. The carpet's pretty nice. They definitely vacuumed. Nobody's came in here and just pooped on the floor or something like that. Nothing crazy. Um, the lamp and stuff. The TV's nice, and overall, like, aesthetically, the room's nothing special, but it's not bad. That place in Medicine Hat was bad. It had like a broken picture, and I remember the bedding was gross and everything like that. I remember my little brother and my other brother's room was hilarious, even funnier than mine though, with the hole in the door and stuff. He came into my room and he was like, "Well, come see our room." He's like, "Did you get a free breakfast buffet?" And I'm like, "Breakfast buffet? What are you talking about?" They had the big radiator in there, and somebody had left pizza sitting on the radiator, very obviously from way earlier in the day, and so it was pretty obvious, like, no maid had gone in there, and he was like, "Enjoy our free pizza buffet." Um, so that place was bad. I mean, I would rank this place with the Medicine Hat Lodge. And, the Medicine Hat Lodge, that was the only room available in the entire city. And that's the reason we were staying the night there, because it was Calgary Stampede time. And I did not realize that Medicine Hat, even being an hour and a half away from Calgary, books all the way up during the Calgary Stampede. So we stayed the one night there, and then we just stayed with my aunt after that or something. Yeah, I mean, those are the worst hotels I've stayed in. I've stayed in like little mom and pop janky dinky joints. There was one in um, Arkansas where you can dig diamonds at the Crater of Diamond State Park. That was a little mom and pop place. I've stayed in little mom and pop places, a lot of places. I just prefer those type of hotels, and they were better. And when one of the pluses was it was quiet, they had air conditioning. Maybe you'd get like loud noise from trucks starting up in the morning or something, but um, I would prefer a hotel like a crappy Motel 6 or something. But again, all those hotels I'm listing, other than probably the Medicine Hat Lodge, were a third the price. They were 50, $60 a night, which you don't expect much. If this room was $65, let's say, on a Saturday night, it'd be fine or something. But I mean, I could not picture, hey, I'm on vacation, I'm going to Seattle, we booked this room, and we're here multiple nights. This would ruin your vacation. Um, Now it is August, and it is definitely hot here in Seattle at this point in time. So maybe if you were here in May and it wasn't hot outside and you could like open these windows and let the room cool down quite a bit and the room was already somewhat cool, maybe it'd be okay, because maybe with these windows closed then you could get a nice night's sleep. That tub being gross, whatever backed up into it or something, um, I mean, that's a kind of a whole different thing. But I mean, you could maybe be okay with it if you're a college student, a guy or something. You were coming downtown, you were going clubbing, you were going to the strip club, and you were going drinking all night or something, and then you were just drunk, passing out on the bed in here for 5 or 6 hours. That'd be one thing. But I mean, me just being a regular guy, like I didn't get hammered last night. I wasn't drunk or anything like that. Came back. I watched a little bit of TV. I tried to fall asleep. I fell asleep for a couple chunks, probably good 40-minute, 50-minute chunks, and then whatever that horrible noise this morning was just woke me up, and now I can't get back to sleep. So I'm just gonna go get on the light rail. It's like across the street, and I'm gonna hop that thing, and I'm gonna go all the way back to Renton, and you know, uh, go to my family's house, because this room sucks and this hotel sucks. So, oh, and the restaurant bar definitely not open. There's no way. It was Saturday night, and the lounge isn't even open. The door wasn't open. I tried to push the B In the elevator, the door shuts and it just opens back up, and then you push B again and it shuts and it just sits there. The elevator doesn't even move if you hit B. It doesn't light up. It doesn't do anything. So you know, maybe if you are an entrepreneur and you want to own a bar and restaurant, it sounds like Barnadix or whatever the heck the name of the bar and restaurant that's attached to this place is available, because if you don't have it open during Seafair on a Saturday when there's actually tourists and people wandering around, then I'm guessing your bar restaurant isn't open very often. Um, like I said, amenities wise in this room, you know, you got a desk, you got a mirror, you got a lamp and a flat screen. In the flat screens, you know, there's no cable, but there's antenna. So I mean, if you need to click it on and watch the news or something, then I guess you can. Um, the closet's big if you needed to hang stuff up in the closet or something. But that elevator, the fact that it wasn't even working when we checked in and then it was working later, that elevator is pretty sketch. Um, I mean, I'm on the third floor, so if you had to drag some luggage up, just the 4 flights, 5 flights, which is weirdly how many flights you have to go up to get to the third floor, um, then maybe this place would be okay for the one night or something like that. Other than that, though, I would not stay here. It is not a fun place to stay, and it is loud, and it is noisy, and it is hot. So, yeah, I mean, the room's clean ish, and it's okay. I was expecting worse, and so maybe that's why I'm giving it even a better assessment than I was going to. But for a room that's centrally located downtown at 150 bucks on a Saturday, it's a 2 star at best hotel. I mean, it's not a 1 star, but you know, I don't know. There you go. There's my assessment. So fuck the Hotel Seattle, Seattle Hotel, whatever the hell the damn name is. Um, and their stupid restaurant that never opens, and their elevator that barely works, and whatever else. I will give credit. The desk guys were very nice. The guy when I checked in was super, super nice. The gentleman that was there at 2 o'clock in the morning when I came back, he at first weirded me out. He was standing there smoking a cigarette, and he said, you know, do you need a key? And I thought he was just some like crazy guy. I had a homeless guy trying to sell me a pack of smokes he found, and you know, things like that. So I was like, oh gosh, who is this guy? But I mean, he was not dressed like a homeless guy by any means. Like, no, I'm good. And he's like, oh, he's all, I work here. I'm sorry. And he realized the way he had said it, it was kind of odd. So even then, he was like, you know, have a good evening, sir, or something like that. He told me, and you know, it seemed like a nice guy. So even then, you know, it was fine. And honestly, it was hot in that lobby, so maybe he was just hanging out outside anyways, because it's 2 o'clock in the morning and he's checking out people walking by or something like that. This hotel is located about a block away from a lot of the action, so I mean, at least there wasn't a ton of drunk people walking on that street out there. Across the street is a Wells Fargo. Let's see if you can see it. There you go. There's a Wells Fargo and just an office building. So that somewhat kept the noise down, I guess. But I mean, my gosh, come on. Hotel Seattle, Seattle Hotel. Get a window air conditioner. They're 130 bucks. Install a window air conditioner. Or if you're not going to do that, give me a $10 box fan, and it'll move you up from 2 to 2.5 stars, and then figure out what the hell is going on with that plumbing where the shower backed up, and you know, you'll move up to 2.5 stars, and maybe somebody wouldn't be dreading having to stay here or something like that. Or maybe, you know, this wouldn't be the place that you bang a hooker in and then murder her and leave her dead in the bathtub kind of a hotel. Um, but anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna go get on the light rail. It is now 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gonna just get on the light rail and I'm gonna go to Renton. So
thanks for watching, I guess. So this is the other exit stairwell, the outside stairwell. Oh my God, what is that? West stair roof access.